Okay, what does it mean when Mercury is retrograde? You've probably had people come to you and blame Mercury being retrograde, or maybe warn you that Mercury is retrograde because things have gone haywire, they've gone sideways. Mercury retrograde tends to do that. But in this video, I'm going to give you a simple explanation of why it looks like Mercury is going backward and what it means when Mercury is retrograde. So Mercury looks like it's going backward because of our perspective. It's an illusion. And what happens, so every one of the planets in our solar system looks like it's retrograde at different times. Mercury, being the closest to the sun and the fastest moving planet, is retrograde more often than the other planets. And it goes retrograde 3 or 4 times a year. And it's, like I said, perspective. It's an illusion. And here's the simplest explanation that I have come upon and that helped me to understand the actual physical part of it, the science of it. Mercury is closest to the sun, and here we are, a couple planets out from the sun, or from Mercury. We're traveling at different distance around the sun, and we're traveling at a different rate than Mercury. So let's just say, to make it simple, for the simple explanation, that you're in a car. You're driving, and you're driving at 75 miles per hour, and there is a car that is driving, that you can see, that is driving 90 miles per hour. So let's say you guys are moving along, and this car that's traveling 90 miles per hour slows down, and it starts to go 60 miles per hour. Now it looks like the car is going backward, which in fact it isn't going backward. It's just slowed down, still going the same direction as you, but it's slowed down. So from your perspective, it looks like it has gone into reverse, but it hasn't. It's just the illusion of the rate of speed, the change in rate of speed. And so that's what happens when a planet goes retrograde, the way it looks from Earth, because of the difference of the rate of speed and our perspective. And as far as the astrological view of it and the message that Mercury retrograde gives us and the opportunity, it gives us the opportunity, and it is the message, to slow down. Mercury being the planet of communication, of thinking, of contracts, that's the time to just make sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and you're moving in a more methodical way. Have awareness. It doesn't mean you need to stop and not go into major contracts. Like some people will say, you'll hear astrologers say, don't go into major contracts, don't buy a house, don't buy a car, don't get into a relationship. But to me, what it means is to really slow down and have perspective. There's karma in anything and everything. We're spiritual beings living a human experience, and we have the power to change and manipulate and adjust energy. And if you want to buy a house or go into a relationship or a major work deal, pay attention, follow your gut, follow your heart. You know what's truly right, and it's time to trust your intuition. So you don't have to stop your life, just slow down, pay attention, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Your relationships. So with communication, what happens when we get the opportunity of Mercury retrograde, which it does happen 3 or 4 times a year, being the closest to the sun and moving the fastest, it's the fastest moving planet around the sun. It gives you the opportunity to face the challenges or to face experiences in your life that maybe you've been putting off, maybe you've been turning away from, you haven't wanted to face them, maybe you're putting your head in the sand. Well, Mercury retrograde tends to bring those back. It's a time to tie up loose ends. It's a time to face yourself. You're here to live your true nature and purpose. You're here to love your life. You are the predominant creator in your life. You get to do everything and anything. So by choosing what you want and you love and choosing the life that you love, everything will unfold just the way it's supposed to. Don't let Mercury retrograde stop you, but I suggest you just pay attention, have a little more awareness. Don't jump into a relationship or move into a business opportunity or buying a property or a car without really paying attention to detail or listening to your gut or reading between the lines. We should do that anyway. It's a good idea if you really want your life to go as smoothly as possible. But, life is going to happen. And this Mercury retrograde, all Mercury retrogrades give us the opportunity to slow down, pay attention, and continue to move forward, to take care of yourself, go within. Don't make any rash decisions, and watch your communication, the words that come out, because it also gives us opportunities to communicate things that maybe we've been holding back in relationship, in business, something that's been charged, emotionally charged, or maybe it's been bothering you that you haven't addressed. Well, this time, Mercury retrograde, this will give you the opportunity to revisit what you haven't been visiting, to tie up those loose ends, like I said, and you can do it. It's okay if your inner child is crying, if it's okay if you're uncomfortable, move through it anyway. You're building muscles. And I often tell clients, when there's something that you're doing that's different, it's because, or if you have some really strong energy in an area of your life, it's because you're building the muscles. It's as if you're running in sand, and so you're building those muscles. And when you'll build those muscles, and it'll be easier as you go along. You'll learn lessons and have experiences. And when you shift and you start to run on, let's say, concrete or grass, it's so much easier, and you've already have those strong muscles. You just have to face what you need to face, because you're here as a spiritual being living a human experience, and you're here to grow into your true self. And Mercury retrograde gives you the opportunity. Also, I want to touch on the fact that when Mercury goes retrograde, when all planets go retrograde, there's a pre-shadow period and a post-shadow period from when the planet is actually retrograde. So it's basically the energy build up to when the planet is more intensely, when it's retrograde, when you're feeling it more intensely, and then there's the part where it tapers off. And so there's a pre-shadow, there's the actual retrograde period, and then there's a post-shadow. So if you're really feeling Mercury retrogrades, then it's time to slow down your communication. Don't let, you'll know, but I do see this with some people. They just let things fly out of their mouth without thinking about it. And I appreciate when people are straightforward and they're truthful and upfront and open. I love that. It is helpful to have awareness, and if you really want to have strong communication, then to be able to know how to balance that enough so that you have clear and effective communication. Because if you just spew everything out and you're not able to communicate your message, then it doesn't make sense. But clear, effective, upfront, open communication always comes out on top. Could it be uncomfortable? 100%. Same with the thinking, same with your thinking. If your mind goes every which way, it's time to tie up the loose ends. It's time to quiet your mind. It's time to slow it down. And then if you go into contracts or new relationships or buying assets, going into business deals, you just pay attention to the details and make sure your communication, again, is upfront, clear, effective, open, so that later you won't have to face what it is that you already knew could happen, or the inkling that you had, that little feeling in your gut or your heart to say, what about this? Like you just knew, something wasn't quite off, but something was off. It wasn't quite right, and it's important to address it now. And it's important to do that all year long. I mean, nobody's perfect, but Mercury retrograde gives you the opportunity to readdress that, to tie up the loose ends, to slow down, to have awareness, and to pay attention to details. So I hope this video helped you to understand what Mercury retrograde is, and leave your comment below. Let me know what you've learned from Mercury retrograde. I've had a ton of lessons that just to basically face what it is that I haven't been facing. And if I haven't faced it, then Mercury retrograde is going to give me the opportunity to go ahead and communicate, or if I'm going into a major contract, to pay attention to detail and to really know that nobody's perfect. Everyone's feeling Mercury retrograde collectively. So if there's mistakes, that's, it just happens. If someone else is communicating, that is not clear in a clear and effective way, and maybe it's really abrupt or harsh, I don't have to be that way. I stay consistent. I do me and do the right thing, and in the end the results are always good, and it may take a little bit of time, and there may be experiences that aren't the easiest, but you just keep moving through them. Do the right thing, know that you're a spiritual being living a human experience, and you'll get there. So leave your comment below. How has Mercury retrograde helped you grow?